Estimados miembros de la comunidad latinoamericana aquí en la ciudad de Edmonton, muy bienvenidos a su programa comunitario Nosotros. Hoy día tenemos a la hermana Sister Mary Claire con nosotros, que la vamos a dar la bienvenida al programa. Sister Mary Claire, welcome to the program.
Muchas gracias.
Muy bien.
Thank you very much, yes, for the opportunity.
Yeah, Sister, tell us a little bit about your background, first of all.
Well, I'm a member of the congregation, Ursulines of Jesus, born in Calgary, raised in Edmonton, so Alberta's my home, but I've had the privilege of being in several different countries, including Bolivia and Chile for a little while, so I could learn some Spanish. And many, many years in Prince George Diocese doing pastoral ministry. And when I came back to Edmonton, I was invited to begin a new program called Parish Relations. So from a tabula rasa, I created this program. And from the very beginning, I connected with about 16 different parishes in the Catholic Archdiocese of Edmonton to find their needs, their resources, etc. And then to search out with them how Catholic Social Services could respond to their particular needs, but also how we could share resources with each other. And out of that grew a program to support seniors in living their faith and finding a social network system in their latter years of their lives. And then slowly we became connected with temporary foreign workers, because I was seeing more and more areas where TFWs didn't have the support that they needed. So thanks to some federal funding, we hired people who now work out of our central office, and they've taken over the program. Beautiful woman from by the name of Marta, another beautiful woman by the name of Gemalil, and their director is Ravka. And then as I kind of stayed connected with the larger community, then I discovered that there were other needs, particularly more and more victims of domestic violence. So we were able to develop a program called Receive, Respond, and Refer. So in the meantime, I hired a woman by the name of Claire to join me in the program, and then another woman by the name of Kaylee, and basically they together developed the Receive, Respond, and Refer program. And the purpose of that is to go to parishes, to the pastoral teams, and sit down with the members of the pastoral team and say, has anyone disclosed situations of domestic violence? If there's affirmative and they're willing to invite us in, we do training with the team so that they then know how to receive possible disclosures of domestic violence, to receive the individuals with deep respect, compassion, and then know where to refer them to so they have the proper resources. And that at that same time then, Mayor Mandel developed the 10-year plan to end homelessness in our city. And so instead of just staying within the Catholic community, we realized that we needed to really broaden out to other denominations, Christian denominations, but also the interfaith community, so that together we could respond to the reality of homelessness within our city. And when we became involved with it, what was very clear was that the research shows that the people who are newly housed, or first of all, sorry, step back a bit, that for many, many years we've wrapped services around individuals who are still living on the streets or couch surfing, maybe they're in our river valleys or whatever, but then was discovered that if we can place them in a little home, no matter how simple the apartment is or whatever, they have their own place, then the success rate for them to stay in their homes is much, much higher, because once they're in the home, we start wrapping the services around them. Particularly in our situation with Welcome Home, the service of matching 2 volunteers with each of our participants, so that the 3 of them then can go out and just in a very, very simple way build relationships that help sustain them in their new little place. So they go for coffee, they go for a walk, they go to a movie, they go to IMAX, whatever, depending upon the particular match. But especially the desires and the needs of the participant. So the three of them sit down and they say, okay, we've got our $40 for the month from our activity fund, which doesn't go very far. Anyway, and with that, what are we going to do for our activities for this month? And then the participant basically leads that decision, that choice.
Laura, tell us a little bit about this program that you're a part of. What's the name of the program?
The name of the program is Welcome Home Program, and I am a participant in the program. And the way it works is that you work with other volunteers, people that are volunteering, and you both get to meet wherever you choose to meet. And it could be different locations. And you just go out to different places and have fun with each other and spend time with each other.
Okay. Laura, tell us a little bit about your background.
I'm originally born Nigerian, but I'm a Canadian citizen. I've been here all my life. I was originally in Toronto, and I moved to Edmonton 7 years ago, and I've been in Edmonton since then.
Okay. So you know Edmonton fairly well then?
I know Edmonton very well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what led you to decide to participate in this program?
Well, there's a couple of reasons. Reason why people participate in such programs is that it's good. It's a good program. Like I said, it's Welcome Home Program. It's a good program where you get to meet other people and they match you up with other people. It might be from different cultures. Like you see, my colleagues are from the Philippines, and we match up with each other and get to have fun. We go different places. We spend time with each other, and the program is good just to help you to keep yourself, have companies with other people and not just be alone by yourself.
Oh, I'm May Mulato. I'm from Philippines. I came from province of Bicol, Masbate. It's since back 2005, I really want to come in Canada. It's like my dream to be here. So, but it's been a long time to get me here. So lots of jobs I work with, and I decided to go to Taiwan for 2 years. I worked there as factory worker, and thinking to be here, it's the easiest way. So I went to Taiwan, worked for 2 years, and yeah, I'm here for the help of agency who helped me to get in here. So thanks God, I'm here.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Why was it so important for you to come to Canada? Why Canada? Why not the United States or Australia? Why Canada?
In 2005, it's like caregiver is the one, it's a known job where it's like in Canada, they are hiring caregivers, and thinking, oh, it's a great opportunity to be there. And I think I want to be there. So I studied caregiver and process many things, applying to be here, but it's like, it's not luck for me that year. So 2010 to Taiwan, and 2012 to be here. So it's here in Canada thinking good future, and back in Philippines it's like, I don't know what I'm going to do, like better job. So I think the Canada is one for me, it's the best. So that's why I'm thinking.
Good. RC, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from and how you ended up here in Edmonton?
I'm RC. I'm also from the Philippines, just like May. I applied for the Alberta nominee program. My brother told me 3 years ago to apply. So I started 2009 with my papers. Then I arrived here only last January, last year. So luckily, after I arrived, so I came looking for work. Then with this program, I stumbled on the program on the internet. I just typed the word Catholic. Then, of course, Catholic Social Services came through. Then I saw the welcome home program. So I was curious about the welcome home. What's this welcome home? So I read about it, and then I called up. I think I called up Jackie or somebody here. Then she told me to come. Then she had a battery of questions. So she asked me so many things, but it's okay because I got to brush up on my English.
One of the things that I've heard and has been proven through the research is that a lot of people who are on the street, homeless, are there because of mental health issues. What can you tell us a little bit about the participants and the correlation between mental health?
Okay. Yeah. Actually, the research shows about 57% of our homeless sisters and brothers, or those who are newly housed, have mental health issues for a variety of reasons and various expressions of mental health challenges. Many of them as well have addictions issues. Some have been in prison and have, taken their time, been there, come out. And so they face those kind of challenges to reintegrate into society. But also, more and more, we're discovering many of our middle class, or so-called middle class people, are one paycheck away from homelessness. Maybe they've invested in a big home or heaven only knows what, and then the bread earner, or one of the bread earners, gets ill, loses his job or her job, and then suddenly they find themselves unable to continue in their home. They lose it. And also then they end up at our food banks, which is hard, very hard, yeah.
Something really important that you said is that there's middle class that are just a paycheck away. And there seems to be an attitude, though, here in Alberta that, well, everyone has the same opportunities. So pick yourself up by your bootstraps and get the job done. How do you, having participated or run this program, what's your response to people who have that kind of attitude?
Well, a lot of education. Because, there are lots of myths, and there are also lots of fears around homelessness and our homeless sisters and brothers. So what we've done is we've developed a training program for potential volunteers, and we deal with a lot of the myths around homelessness. In the training, we also look at various mental health challenges. We look at substance abuse and what kind of drugs are being used, the impacts of those, etc. We unpack what those myths look like and what their particular image is of a homeless individual. But also we go out into various churches, interdenominational and interfaith, and we meet with people and just work with them and dialogue and draw out of them, okay, what do you understand by homelessness? Kind of a homelessness 101 program, just to dispel some of that and clear the way for people then, when they are matched, to be able to come to know this particular individual for who he or she is, and not with this image, oh, well, this is what homelessness looks like, and you're the drunken so-and-so that I meet on the street, or whatever. Or it's only because you don't, as you said, you don't want to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Get a job. Get with it. No, for many of them that's not possible. And the other thing that we're seeing more and more in Alberta is we've got a lot of people coming from other provinces, because Alberta's the have province at the moment. And they come with the conviction that they will obviously find a job, they'll find somewhere to live, and be able to support themselves, maybe family back home, and it'll happen like that. It doesn't happen like that very often.
Hello everyone, we're here at Catholic Social Services regarding a program that our friend Sam here is going to tell us all about. Sam, welcome to the program. How are you today?
Very good, sir. And how's yourself?
Good, good, good. Thank you. So Sam, tell us a little bit about this program that you're involved in here.
Well, my experience so far has been reasonably limited. I've been with Welcome Home for roughly 6 months now, maybe a little bit longer than that. For individuals such as myself who don't get outside very often, have difficulty, you might say, forming friendships, they have volunteers who, I have two wonderful people who will come and meet me once a week. We'll go for coffee, and they're basically there for mental support. Any support that they can give you. They're very good people here.
Okay. Sam, tell us a little bit about your personal story. How is it that you ended up here in Edmonton, and where are you from?
I was born in Red Deer, Alberta. I was adopted by a military family, and we moved to the Maritimes when I was 8. I lived in the Maritimes for pretty much the next 30 years. Most of that would have been Halifax, Nova Scotia, but I moved back to Alberta when I was 38. That had been about 8 years ago. And the economy was just booming at the time, and that's what brought me back here.
Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about some of the issues that you faced that led you to participate in this program.
I have dealt with anxiety and depression for pretty much my entire life. Mm-hmm. Which is not conducive to going out and meeting people, making friendships. I'm just as happy to sit at home. Mm-hmm. But with the Welcome Home program, I can get out, and it's a little more, it's healthier.
Mm-hmm. So part of the anxiety and depression, these are serious issues that it has been taboo to talk about them for a long time. Like, it's just now that really at a societal level we're starting to open up about them. What do you want people to know about the reality you live in terms of the anxiety and depression that you feel, and what do you want them to know about that? People who may not be able to understand what you're going through.
It can be crippling. I don't know if I could put it any better or even phrase it any other way. It, for my part, has been crippling. It's unfortunate, you're correct. It's unfortunate that it is such a social stigma attached with it, but with time, hopefully, and awareness, these things can be brought to light, and people tend not to seek help because of the social stigma. And the more awareness, the more light we shed on the subject, the more people who need help will come forth and get help.
Right. That's very important that people who need the help can get the help. I mean, just recently we learned about a young man who was going through depression and ended up committing suicide at the LRT. So it's a very serious issue, very serious issue. What do you recommend to people who perhaps don't know as much? How do you think that they can become more sensitive to people who are going through these issues?
Well, I'm not really very well experienced with that, because I've only sought treatment within the last year for my own part. But the internet can be a very good source, but almost everybody knows somebody who has depression issues or anxiety issues. I believe depression would be more common, although I'm not an expert in the field, so I can't guarantee that. But if you know somebody that's like that, reach out to them, learn from them, Don't shun people because they have a mental issue.
You tell us a little bit about when you ended up coming from out east to Alberta. What was it like for you adjusting to a new life here in Alberta and experiencing some of these issues at the same time?
It was very difficult at first. I came with a bag full of clothing, and that was all I had. I didn't have a job to come to. It was fortunate that the economy was in such a good state at the time, and I didn't have an apartment or a place to stay. Remarkably difficult. Housing is hard to come by in Edmonton at the best of times. So I stayed at the Herb Jameson 6 or 7 years ago when I first arrived here, and found a job, tried to get an apartment. The first room I got was in a rooming house, 107 Avenue and 107th Street. And while I was at work, I worked at Walmart, the night shift at the time. And while I was at work, somebody burned the the rooming house down. So I was off to scratch again. I lost everything there. Luckily, I didn't lose my own life because I was at work. There were people jumping out of the third-story windows, is what I was told. But again, I was quite fortunate. One of my co-workers at Walmart offered me a room, and she, her ex-boyfriend or ex-husband was the superintendent of a building, and there was an apartment coming up in a month. So she allowed me to stay with her until that apartment was ready, and that was a big help.
So much of what you've experienced and the things that other people experience that are in similar situations, in society, especially here in Alberta, we have this kind of, well, you got to pick yourself up by your bootstraps and just get the job done kind of idea. And there seems to be this, well, everybody has the same opportunity, so how come you can't just deal with it? What's your response to people who have attitudes like that?
Well, I find it difficult to deal with closed-minded people. What would my response be? Would be to put yourself in someone else's shoes, but that oftentimes doesn't work. I don't know what else I could say, to be honest. As I say, I'm reasonably new to the Welcome Home program. I'm reasonably new to getting help for my own afflictions. We are people. We have the same feelings and thoughts as anybody else. Just try to put yourself in someone else's shoes. I know that sounds corny and it's an old standby, but if you can do that, it can benefit you greatly.
Right. Tell us a little bit about the people that come and visit you and how they tie into the Welcome Home program.
They're the two volunteers that come and see me on a regular basis are very kind individuals that are not judgmental. We don't have an awful lot in common, but that can also make for an interesting relationship. It gives me the opportunity to learn more about someone else, and it gives them the opportunity to learn more, again, about someone who is different than themselves. And it's extremely beneficial to me, whether I want to leave my apartment or not. At some point, I have to. It's unhealthy to just stay at home and never leave your apartment. So they get me out.
Good. That's the benefit then.
That's the biggest benefit, yes. And friendship is as well.
I want to thank you, Sam, for doing this interview with us. It's a pleasure to know you.
It was my pleasure.
Okay.
Pleasure to meet you as well.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good. May, tell us a little bit about how you found out about the program and why you decided to get involved.
Oh, at first, when I came here back October 2012. So when I came here, it's like I didn't think what life I have here. I'm thinking is to be here, to work, and have my dream come true. But when I arrive, I feel not really like happy or whatever. I feel alone. It's like nobody with me. I don't have any friends. I don't know anyone. It's like just me, just no one, or my employer, just my employer. And I stay with them and just take care of the 2 kids, just in the house every day, whole the week. So it's like I'm really bored. So it just came to my mind, like I want to explore. I want to have something to do where I can spend my free time, because I'm off like Saturday and Sunday. So I go to internet and search for what I can do, something like interesting things, because I like exploring. I like knowing things around me or somewhere. So when I go to internet, I search some like volunteers or something to do. It's the Catholic Social Services. I first saw it, so I said, "What's about this?" It's my first time to know that name, Catholic Social Services. I didn't think what they are, what program they have. So I just only called what numbers I saw there, and I asked, I mail. I'm asking like if you have any volunteers like that. And I said, yeah, we have, and they are asking about me, what I do, what I finish, everything. I said, I'm caregiver. I'm just new here, like 2 months, I think. And they said, oh, then what you like to do? I said, I want to volunteers weekends.
So RC, tell me a little bit about, not necessarily who you're matched up with, but what are the benefits that you get from volunteering with accompanying someone here?
Well, definitely it feels good. It feels good, as simple as that. And of course, I've been doing this also in the Philippines for the past 32 years, volunteering in the church, and then our work is community-based. So when I arrived here, I think just like me, almost only a month. So I started looking for something that I could do. So I have 2 more volunteer works beside, of course, Catholic Social Services, Welcome Home. So simply feels good to do this. I think part of it is the adventure. I'm an adventurous guy also. I go to places in the Philippines before. But besides that, number 1 is to do something for someone and for the community in the process. That's why I'm doing this.
I said, oh, it's really great that you will meet same people and how they are like connected to community, how they love volunteering, how they will love help people. So it's how the community grows, how the country grows, good to better country. So that's how it's really good here. So it's beautiful.
Well, I want to thank you both for being on Nosotros. Thank you, May, and thank you, RC. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's our pleasure.
Salamat po.
The volunteers in the program, well, they get a substantial amount of training. We've met a few of the volunteers so far, and they're telling us that they also benefit from the program.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your perception about that angle in the program.
Okay. For many of the volunteers, it's been a real eye-opener for them. And several of them have said that when they finally got to know a little bit more of the story of the person that they were matched with. Then they came to understand really from the heart who that person was. And like, for example, with Omalara and RC and May, just again and again you can hear the laughter and the joy that they experienced just being together. But they had to start out with, ooh, who am I being matched with? What's she like? Are we going to be able to work well together? And so it takes a long, long time to build up that kind of relationship and the trust, where now they're good friends. Yeah.
Good.
And one other story I have to tell you, okay?
Sure.
Beautiful story. But this is from the participant side.
Yeah.
We have one of our participants who has very, very complex challenges. And 2 attempts have been made at matching him, and they hadn't worked. We just hadn't quite formed the right match, or he just wasn't ready for the match. And they've discovered that he loves the outdoors, anything in nature. And so just before Christmas, they went skating, I think at Horilac Park. And this was just something else for this fellow. But one of the participants fell and broke his wrist. So anyway, but the good part of it is that this gentleman, this participant, also went to the neighbor drop-in center on the south side. And while he was there, he was telling the rest of his buddies at the drop-in center, you know what? My friend broke his arm. That's awful. Like, he was doing something for me, and he broke his arm. Gee, I hope he gets better fast. And just the fact that he said, my friend broke his arm, was huge, because that said, yes, the relationship that we're hoping to build is happening with somebody that hasn't had a friend for years and years and years. And so our hope, literally our prayer, is to get the word out there as much as possible so that people can see, yeah, even if I am afraid to enter into this initially, there's good training, there's preparation, there's ongoing training. Every month we gather the volunteers, we work with them around themes that they want to deepen and better understand. They have the support of one another, peer support in these training sessions. And yeah, that when people see that and understand that, and when more participants and the Housing First agencies and their staff there understand the transformation that can happen in these participants' lives, and I'm hoping that'll open up and people will say, yes, I want to be part of that. This has great potential, and I can grow. It's not just me helping somebody else, but it's a mutual growing, building of a relationship.
Solidarity between people.
Exactly, yeah.
Wonderful.
My brother, my sister.
Yes. I love that you describe the participants as like our homeless sisters and brothers, because I think that people forget that level of humanity when they're considering the situation. Sister Mary Claire, I invite you to tell our people right here watching us at home, how can they get involved in the Welcome Home program? Who do they need to call?
We have a wonderful program manager for Welcome Home by the name of Jacqueline Bass. And Jacqueline may be reached through Catholic Social Services East Office, 780-471-1122, or online at Jacqueline, JACQULINE.Bass, BASS, at catholicsocialservices.ab.ca. Phone her or email her, or you can email me, sister.maryclaire@catholicsocialservices.ab.ca, or my direct line, 780-378-2455. Either one of us would be very happy to chat with you, maybe to go out to your church, meet with a group, talk about the program.
And Sister Mary Claire, for those people who are more online and want to figure out more about the program that way, what's the website?
I can tell you where our video can be found.
It's okay.
Okay, there's a wonderful video about Welcome Home on our website, www.catholicsocialservices No, that's our website. Sorry, www.catholicsocialservices.ab.ca, but the video can be found at Welcome Home Catholic Social Services. And you have to put in CSS because there are about 1,000 hits for Welcome Home. So.
Okay. Wonderful. I want to thank you so much for being on Nosotros. It's wonderful to have you. And I'm sure that we'll visit in another year or so and we'll see how the program's going.
Or when you have nothing to do, you can come and volunteer with us.
Yes, indeed.
Muchas gracias por esta oportunidad.
No, ningún problema, hermana. Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Okay.
Y gracias a Carlos y Rubio también.
Yeah. Perfecto.
This is how we build every day. Real dreams and poems with you, songs and hopes with you. This is how we build every day. Till I need every one of you. These dreams we continue. That day, that day the day comes. We gonna celebrate. We gonna celebrate. This is how we
Vamos a ver en la feria de San Andrés. Y es un gato. En feria de San Andrés me encontré un gato. El gato. El perro. Vamos a ver en la feria de San Andrés. Vamos a ver en la feria de San Andrés. Bravo. Muy bien, niño.
Estimados todos de nuestra comunidad, estamos aquí con Gabriela de la escuela Gabriela Mistral, Latin American School, donde todos los días sábados vienen niños de toda la ciudad a aprender castellano. Gabriela, muy bienvenida al programa.
Gracias, un gusto estar contigo.
Gabriela, cuéntanos, tú eres como una de las principales organizadoras del Latin Elements, el concierto que hacen todos los años la escuela, ¿no?
Así es, gracias a Dios. Hemos estado haciendo este show por los últimos 5 o 6 años. Siempre ha sido con un tema y con un script en la que se refiere a diferentes partes de nuestras culturas y nuestros países.
¿Y cuál es el tema de este año?
El tema de este año es bastante interesante. Se trata sobre las aves migratorias que inician su viaje desde Canadá y van a los países suramericanos y centroamericanos.
¿Y de dónde nació esa idea?
Bueno, la idea nació más que nada, he visto con mucha curiosidad aquí las aves que veía en mi país durante el verano y las he encontrado aquí en el verano. Y es tan maravilloso verlas y muchas veces, por ejemplo, en Celestún hay una ría que es de recursos naturales privados y tienen una gran albergue para aves migratorias y he visto las aves, los gaviotines blancos, por ejemplo, o los sandpaper spotters, los he visto en México y también que en Isla de Pascua.
Cuéntanos un poco sobre los detalles. ¿Cuándo va a ser el concierto?
Va a ser el 26 de abril en el Museo Provincial. Espero que nos puedan acompañar mucho de la gente de la audiencia. Los niños están súper emocionados con este trabajo porque lo que ellos han hecho en adición sobre las aves migratorias han investigado sobre cada uno de los países y han hecho sus propias presentaciones, interpretaciones a través de arte, a través de danza, a través de poesía. Los he dejado con mucha libertad para poder hacer sus propias creaciones. Otros los hicieron con madera, utilizando materiales de reciclaje, como utilizaban, por ejemplo, para representar la minería, que es uno de los recursos de la Isla de Pascua. Utilizaron las tapas de los envases de Coca-Cola, las latas, para representar el cobre. Y ha sido muy interesante lo que ellos han demostrado, cómo han demostrado lo que han aprendido.
Y eso se trata el concierto, ¿no? Es de que los estudiantes por todo el año se preparan y todo y nos muestran este gran espectáculo. Estimados todos, ya saben, el 26 de abril en el Museo Provincial, vengan a ver el Latin Elements. Muchísimas gracias por estar en nosotros.
Muchas gracias. Y me siento muy agradecida de que puedan ustedes visitarnos en este día en nuestra escuela y vean a los estudiantes lo que han aprendido.
El placer es nuestro.
Gracias.
Yeah, this is how we build every day. Real dreams and poems with you, songs and hopes with you. This is how we build every day. Till I need every one of you. These dreams become to
Van a tener la idea de lo que significa cada grupo de animales y por qué están clasificados en esa manera, ¿cierto? Entonces, aquí vamos a ver el nombre de todos los animales. Más tarde vamos a hacer actividades con esto. ¿Ok? Aquí están los nombres de todos los animales. Yo sé que...
This is how we build. Every day is good. I need every one of you. These dreams should continue.
Estimados miembros de nuestra comunidad latinoamericana aquí en la ciudad de Edmonton, tenemos una visita pero extremadamente especial. Es María Isabel. Muy bienvenida al programa, María Isabel.
Gracias.
María Isabel, cuéntanos, tú eres un estudiante aquí en la escuela Gabriela Mistral, ¿no?
Sí.
¿Sí? ¿Por cuánto tiempo has estado viniendo a la Gabriela Mistral?
Desde cuando tenía 5 años, pienso.
5 años, bastante tiempo. Sí. ¿Y cuántos años tienes ahora?
11.
11, entonces 6 años aquí estudiando castellano, ¿no? Sí. Cuéntanos un poco, estamos aquí para promover un poco el Latin Elements. ¿Tú has participado en el Latin Elements con el concierto?
Sí.
Sí. ¿Hacen todos los años?
Sí.
¿Y qué tipo de actuación has estado haciendo para el Latin Elements en los años anteriores?
Yo hacía danza, pero de ahí me fui a la música.
¿Y qué instrumento te gusta tocar?
Guitarra.
¿Y por cuánto tiempo has estado tocando guitarra?
Yo pienso 3 años.
3 años. ¿Y cuál es tu música favorita?
Yo no sé. Inti Illimani, Violeta Parra.
¿Te gusta tocarla? ¿Conoces canciones de Violeta Parra?
Sí.
¿Cuál es tu favorita de Violeta?
Yo no sé.
Todas las canciones, ¿no? Bueno, esta jovencita aquí de la Escuela Gabriela Mistral, María Isabel, nos va a servir como locutora también. Ella va a hacer unas entrevistas a sus amigos y amigas aquí de la escuela. Y bueno, la dejamos con María Isabel.
Bienvenidos al programa Nosotros. Aquí tengo Santiago. ¿Y cómo estáis, Santiago?
Bien. ¿Qué?
¿Cómo estáis?
Bien.
¿Te gusta aquí?
Sí.
¿Estáis como... ¿Te gusta la danza, el música?
Sí.
¿Cuál te gusta más?
Me gusta... Estoy como alegre como en Haití.
¿De dónde vienes tú?
Canadá.
Yo también. ¿Cuántos años tienes, Santiago?
7.
¿Cuándo empezaste aquí en la escuela?
Cuando yo estaba como 6 años.
Pregúntale sobre cuáles son sus monitos animados favoritos, música que le gusta.
¿Qué te gusta en la música? Como instrumentos.
Guitarra.
Yo también. ¿Cuál tipo de música quieres tú?
¿Qué?
¿Cuál tipo de música quieres tú?
¿De español?
Pero ¿cuál tipo? ¿Como el músico de rock?
Sí.
¿Quién es tu artista favorito?
Will Ferrell. ¿Te gusta un superhéroe? ¿Un héroe? Sí, no mucho.
¿Cuál?
Flash.
Sí. Hi again. This is Kati from my class. How are you?
Good.
What kind of thing do you do here? Like dance or music?
Dance.
What's your favorite color?
Green.
I like blue. Do you like music? Or what?
Yeah, I like music.
What kind of music do you like?
I like pop music.
That's nice. Do you have a favorite artist?
Not really. I like Taylor Swift.
How old are you and how long have you been here for?
I'm 12 years old and I've been coming here, I think, for 3 years. This is my 3rd year.
Do you enjoy learning Spanish?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Why do you want to learn Spanish?
Because I really like the culture, and it would just help. Learning a second language really helps you with other skills.
What do you want to do when you grow up?
I want to be some kind of surgeon, either a dental surgeon or a doctor surgeon, brain surgeon, all that stuff.
So what got you interested in that kind of stuff?
I don't know. I just have always been interested in the biology type stuff. Yeah.
Do you have any siblings?
Yes, I have 2. 1 brother and 1 sister, and they're both younger than me.
Do they come here to the school?
Yeah, for the past 2 years as well.
Thank you for letting me interview you, I guess.
You're welcome. Thank you for interviewing me.
You're welcome. Hola, soy Marisabel y hoy día voy a entrevistar a Mohamed. ¿Cómo estás?
Bien.
¿Te gusta aquí en la escuela?
Sí.
¿Qué haces en la escuela?
Aprendo a bailar.
¿Cuántos años tienes?
6. No. 8.
Pregúntale otra vez.
¿Cuántos años tienes?
8.
Ya. ¿Te gusta a bailar?
Sí.
¿Te gusta la música?
Sí.
¿Cuál tipo de música te gusta?
Chile.
¿El música de Chile? Ya. ¿Qué te gusta hacer en tu tiempo libre?
Ver películas.
¿Cuál tipo de películas?
Batman.
¿Te gusta el Batman?
Sí.
¿Te gusta aprender castellano?
No.
¿Por qué?
¿Por qué no?
¿Porque ya sabes mucho o
Sabo un poquito.
un poquito? Ya. ¿Te gusta venir a esta escuela?
Sí.
¿Por qué?
Porque hay muchos libros que puedo leer en mi clase.
¿Te gusta leer?
Sí.
¿Por qué te gusta leer?
Porque es divertido. ¿Cuál es tu color favorito? Azul. Me gusta azul también. Muchas gracias, Mohamed, por estar en la programa.
Yeah, this is how we build every day. Bringing dreams and poems with you, songs and hopes with you. This is how we build every day. Till I need every one of you. These dreams we continue. When that day comes, we gonna.
Mirando los balcones que están colgando en La Habana Vieja, la calle maloliente, las casas rotas que se le caen las tejas, no se ve tan horrible y hacerla nueva no se demoran. Pero lo que me duele es que se derrumbe y que dentro vivan personas. Habana llena de gente, tantas para amarte como para entristecerte, unas para odiarte y otras para embellecerte. Ajá. Tanta escasez provoca a la prostituta y al delincuente, y ellos sirven de puente entre las vidrieras de dólar y las personas. Todo es un mismo hilo, todo culpable, todo inocente. Corren la misma suerte los detenidos y los que siguen la moda. Habana llena de gente, tantas para amarte como para entristecerte, unas para odiarte y otras para embellecerte. La tierra va a estremecer y el cielo a estallar. No temas que cuando llueve escampa. La tierra va a estremecer y el cielo a estallar. No temas que cuando llueve escampa. La tierra va a estremecer. Mirando los carteles de propaganda que alguien engendra, me duelen las ideas tan machacadas como semillas de almendra, porque sabemos tanto y hemos crecido como elefantes, que para un nuevo surco hemos aprendido a no arar con bueyes de antes. Habana llena de gente, tantas para amarte como para entristecerte, unas para odiarte y otras para embellecerte. La tierra va a estremecer y el cielo a estallar. No temas que cuando llueve escampa. La tierra va a estremecer y el cielo a estallar. No temas que cuando llueve escampa. La tierra va a estremecer. Habana llena de gente, tan linda como eres, te vuelven indiferente. Tan linda como eres, te vuelven indiferente. Te vuelven indiferente, te vuelven indiferente. ¿Ustedes se sienten bien? Sí. ¿Está todo bien? ¿No están aburridos? Mi piel está tan dura como cuero de bongo. Mi pelo está tan rizo como toques de tambor. Desde la tumba y el batán. Mi caracol y todos mis collares llorarán. La vida impone tanto, esa tos se está desangrando. No le hagas guerras a mis ganas de cantar. Oea, bagreme una vere, bonco vere, oh, aba. Oea, bagreme una vere, bonco vere, oh, aba. Todos los días que subo al palenque, lleno de estrellas, sudor de mi frente, luego regreso de nuevo a mi cañaveral. Todo el camino que va para el palenque es perro en luna, es monte y es suerte, y la guitarra en mis dedos son cañaveral. Ay, mi piel está tan negra como noche de carbón. Mi pelo está tan rizo como toques de tambor. Esto me cuesta tanto, el mundo está gritando. Nunca se pares a la raza del amor. Bagreme una vere, bonco vere, bon abajo. Bagreme una vere, bonco vere. Una vere, bonco vere, oh, abajo, ea. Bagreme una vere, bonco vere, oh, abajo. Tere, 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 tere. Orolero, lero, 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 tera. Tere, 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 tera. Orolero, lero, lero.
Yeah, this is how we build every day. Bringing dreams and poems with you, songs and hopes with you. This is how we build every day. Till I need every one of you. These dreams we continue. When that day comes, we gonna celebrate. We gonna celebrate. Until then, this is how we build every day. Bringing dreams and poems with you, songs and hopes with you.